Hello everyone. In last class we learned the construction and working of Betatron. In this class we are going to study the theory of Betatron. Okay. In Betatron, donut shaped vacuum chamber is placed as a secondary winding. Specially shaped pole pieces of strong electromagnet act as a primary winding. Okay, and the Betatron works on the principle of transformer. A transformer is based on a principle of mutual induction, that is, whenever there is an amount of magnetic flux linked with the coil changes, an EMF is induced in the neighboring coil. Okay. Now consider the electron moving in a circular orbit of radius r. Let the magnetic flux through the orbit is phi. Then induced EMF produced in the orbit by changing the magnetic flux is given by the Faraday's law. E is equal to minus d phi by dt. That gives the equation first. Okay. The work done on an electron of charge E in one revolution is given by the equation W is equal to E into capital E, where capital E is the EMF produced in the orbit. Okay, and it is given by the equation E is equal to minus d phi by dt. Put equation 1 in equation 2, we get W is equal to minus E d phi by dt. Okay, let F be the tangential force acting on the orbiting electron. Then work done on the electron in one revolution is force into the distance, that is the work done. Hence we get F into 2 pi r. Okay, force is F and distance means the circular circumference. Okay, that is 2 pi r. Hence we get F into 2 pi r is equal to this work done. Both are work done. Equating these two, we get F into 2 pi r is equal to minus E into d phi by dt. Okay. Now rearrange it for the force F. We get minus E upon 2 pi r into d phi by dt. Equation number 4. Understood? First we consider here Faraday's law is equal to minus d phi by dt. Then the work done W is equal to E into capital E, that is minus E into d phi by dt. Then F with the tangential force acting on the orbiting electron. Then work done on the electron in one revolution is force into the distance, that is F into 2 pi r. And further solving this equation, we get F is equal to minus E upon 2 pi r into d phi by dt. Okay. Now the next part is due to this force, velocity of electron tends to increase and the electron will tends to move in the orbit of larger radius. Okay, but it should be resisted to maintain the radius of the orbit constant. Due to the magnetic flux perpendicular to the plane of the electron orbit, the electron will experience an inward radial force, that is the centripetal force, and it is given by the equation H into E into V is equal to mv square upon r. Gives the equation number 5, where H is the strength of the magnetic field, V is the velocity of electron, m is the mass of the electron. Okay, from this equation we have the momentum of electron, that is P is equal to mv, and that is equal to H into E into R. This is the momentum. Okay, then but for the rate of change of momentum gives the force. Okay, the rate of change of momentum gives the force. Hence we have F is equal to derivation of P with respect to T, that is equal to derivation of HER with respect to T. Okay, see, further solving it, we get the equation F is equal to E into R into derivation of H with respect to T. Okay. To maintain the radius of the orbit constant, the value of force given by the equation 4 and 7 must be numerically equal. Okay. See here equation number 7 and the equation 4. This is equation 4. Then equate these two equations, we get the equation E upon 2 pi r into d phi by dt is equal to E into r into derivation of h with respect to t. Okay. Now here there are derivation of phi with respect to t and derivation of h with respect to t. Okay. We can arrange it for both the cases. See here, derivation of h with respect to t is equal to 1 upon 2 pi r square d phi by dt, or d phi by dt is equal to 2 pi r square dh by dt. Okay. Then we get, on differentiating, d phi by dt is equal to 2 into d by dt of pi r square h. This is the equation number 8. Or we can also integrate the equation and get phi is equal to 2 pi r square h. These two conditions are known as the Bitatron condition, or there are the conditions under which the Bitatron works are called the Bitatron condition. Okay. From Bitatron condition, we observe that magnetic flux phi must be twice the value of the magnet if the magnetic field were uniform over whole area of the orbit. From Bitatron condition, we observe that magnetic flux phi must be twice the value if the magnetic field were uniform over whole area of the orbit, or the rate of change of magnetic flux density within the orbit must be equal to the double of the rate of change of flux density at the orbit. Okay. This is about the theory of Bitatron. Okay. Then the next part is the final energy gained by the electron in Bitatron. Okay. The central flux variation is given by phi is equal to phi naught into cos of omega t. Okay. The electrons are accelerated only during the first quarter of each cycle of the magnetic flux, that is T by 4 is equal to pi by 2 omega per revolution. Okay. The energy gain per turn will be written as E into d phi by dt, that is equal to E phi naught into integration goes from 0 to pi by 2 omega cos omega t into dt upon integration of dt, the limit over the limit 0 to pi by 2 omega. Okay. Now further solving this, we get the equation E into d phi by dt is equal to E omega phi naught cos of omega t dt, integration of cos of omega t dt gives a sin omega t, and integration of dt gives t over the limit 0 to pi by 2 omega. Okay. Then again further solving, we get the equation E into d phi by dt is equal to 2 E phi naught omega upon pi, gives the equation number 1. Okay. Then the distance traveled by the electron during the quarter cycle is velocity into time, that is c into pi by 2 omega. Therefore, the number of revolutions by the electrons will be the n is equal to capital N is equal to distance traveled by the electron to the circumference of one revolution, that is given by c into pi by 2 omega upon 2 pi r. Okay. Then we have the equation capital N is equal to C upon 4 omega r. Therefore, the final energy gained by the electron in betatron is given by E is equal to C upon 4 omega r into 2 into E phi naught omega upon pi. Okay. Further solving it, we get the energy gained by the electron E is equal to EC phi naught upon 2 pi r. Okay. Thus, the energy gained by the electron is independent of alternating current frequency and it depends only on the flux and radius of the stable orbit. Understood? This is the energy gained by the electron in betatron. Then the next part is the uses of betatron and their limitations. Okay. What are the uses of betatron? Betatron accelerates electrons up to 300 mega electron volt. It have been widely used in medical and radiological applications. In low energy ranges, the betatron are inexpensive. Betatron is simple in operation in low energy ranges. These are the some advantages or uses of betatron. Then what are the limitations of betatron? The limitations of betatron are it is bulky because it uses huge amount of iron in the pole pieces of the magnet. Because of the electromagnet, it is bulky. There is a large air gap, hence very large power is required. The power requirement is very large. A very small part of the magnet provides guide field. These are the some limitations of betatron. Understood? In this class, we study the theory of betatron, then the energy gained by the electron in betatron and the advantages or uses of betatron and their limitations. I hope you all get it, and here's we completed our first unit accelerators. Okay, thank you.